I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life from jazz and cocktails. The girls I knew had sat and sullen gray faces with distant gay traces that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day. 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Ah, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely again, and only last year everything seemed so sure. Now life is awful again, a trough full of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris could ease the bite of it all. I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. So I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too.
My grandfather had just a stack of everything. And he had this one Sammy Davis Jr. record. Then I discovered about 10 or 15 years later, that wasn't a Sammy Davis Jr. tune. That was a Billy Strayhorn tune who introduced it about 10 or 12 years after he actually wrote it.
And that tune is very intricate. It's very difficult to sing and even harder to sing well. He wrote that tune as a senior in high school. And then after that, he went with the Duke Ellington Orchestra as an orchestrator and arranger.
I'm growing tired of the big city lights, tired of the glamour, tired of the sights. In all my dreams I am rolling once more back to my home on the old river shore. I'm so sad and weary, far away from home. Miss the Mississippi and you, dear. Days days are dark and dreary everywhere I roam. Miss the Mississippi and you, roaming the wide world over, always alone and blue, so blue. Nothing seems to cheer me under heaven's dome. Miss the Mississippi and you. Memories are bringing happy days of yore. Miss the Mississippi and you, dear. Mockingbirds are singing round that old cabin door. Miss the Mississippi and you, roaming the wide world over, always alone, blue, so blue. Longing for my homeland, muddy water shore. Miss the Mississippi and you. Longing for my homeland, muddy water shore. Miss the Mississippi and
you. Because I had been exposed to music all the time as a child, I came from a musical family. Band and choir just sort of became everything that I went to school for. It was the only reason I wanted to go. That, for me, was the point in which I really got serious about it and really started studying music, not just playing the piano or playing my horns, but actually studying about theory and history and all that. And that's when I became truly engaged with that, was early on.
It was just kind of a thing. I guess I discovered that I did okay, and by the time I hit second, third year of high school, I thought, this is something I wouldn't mind doing. When I hit college, had an opportunity, because I'd played with him, I could read pretty good and had some opportunities in college. Been a band director now for 27 years, and so I can't really imagine doing anything else.
Tonight I'll serve a supper. We'll eat some food that's rare, and at the head of the table we'll place Brother Henry's chair.
Invite all the local big dogs. We'll laugh and talk and eat,
And we'll
save the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. Well, today I'll go to market
What you gonna do?
and buy a bunch of fish. That will thrill Brother Henry,
Why not?
because that's his favorite dish.
Get a large can of molasses, so we'll have something sweet.
And we'll save the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat.
Now Henry's not a drinker, he rarely takes a nip.
Well, and he don't need no napkins, because what Henry eats don't drip. Blip.
One day we had a banquet. It really was quite a bake. We started off with some short ribs, honey, and ended up with steak.
But now when the feast was over, Brother Henry just kept his seat.
And we
Serve the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat.
blow him a corset there. Drinker, and he rarely takes a nip.
Yeah, he never needs a napkin, 'cause what he eats don't drip. Blip.
One day we had a banquet, yeah. It really was quite a big. We started off with short rib and ended up with steak.
Yeah, but when the supper was over, Mr. Henry just kept his seat.
And we
Serve the bones to Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat.
oh, he's Eggman.
Henry don't eat no meat, a vegetarian. Henry don't eat no meat.
Falling in Love Again. Marlena Dietrich. Yeah, in The Blue Angel. That's where the song came from. Always as a waltz, you know. And that little intro we used was something that Don Grolnick in the Nelson Riddle Orchestra did when they recorded an album of standards with Linda Ronstadt. And that's just kind of become a really cool way to handle that tune. It's a beautiful tune. It really doesn't lend itself to either of us singing it because it's really a female voice song. Sunny Side of the Street is just one of those songs from the Great American Songbook that lends itself to so much improvisation because the chord structure is so great and you want to play on it all day. And it's one of those tunes that I know when I'm wanting to push myself, to make myself think more as a musician, I will sit there if I'm on a restaurant gig or something, I'll play it in all 12 keys to make myself stay tuned in to what's going on. And I think that's a good one to do that with because it does make you think all the way through the musical system.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? You know that happy tune is my step. Oh, life can be all right on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Oh, gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street.
happy tune as your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat, baby. You know that happy tune is my step, your step. Oh, it can be all real on the sunny side of the street. Used to walk in the shade with my blues on the red, while to drag old man, get stuck in the shade. Get hit, don't be afraid, this rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be as rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street. Well, the Rainbow Connection, for about the last 4 years, every night I would close with What a Wonderful World. I was really tired of closing with What a Wonderful World every night. And one night I just remembered that little song. And I started doing it, and there was this overwhelming response to that being my set chaser at the end of the night.
It's just a great tune. It's just a well-written tune, and I know it opened up the first Muppet movie. They just pan in on Kermit sitting on a log in a swamp with a banjo, and he's playing this tune, and it's just a beautiful tune.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered if wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and somebody believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Asleep, and have you heard voices? Well, I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that lures young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow
connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
One for My Baby was actually my request. I love hearing Todd sing that. It's a piano, bar, crying in my beer song. Although it's, you know, probably harder liquor than beer is what they're drinking. But I requested that. He's done it several times, you know, on gigs, and I stay out of that one. I'm not touching that one.
It's a dangerous place to go, picking up a Sinatra song that's really a signature piece. You try to put your own thing on it. You know, I try to take my own spin with it. Can't say that I always succeed, but I sure tried.
Well, it's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. Well, set 'em up, Joe. Got a little story you ought to know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby, one more for the road. Well, I've got the routine. Drop another nickel in the machine. Well, I'm feeling so bad. Can't you make the music dreamy and sad? I could tell you a lot, but you gotta be true to your code. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. Now, buddy, you might never know it, but I'm a kind of poet, and I've got a lot of things I'd like to say. And if I'm gloomy, you've simply got to listen to me till it's talked away. Well, that's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious to close. Well, thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bending your ear. But this torch that I found gotta be drowned, or it's gonna explode. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. The long, long road.
thinking about today's set was a very different challenge, because even Derek and I really haven't been able to play together for a year. We could talk about things we thought would be cool to do, but then we couldn't actually do it. Knowing that it was just going to be the two of us, we were the two in the band that had already been double vaccinated. It made us think outside the box a bit, and I think that's always a positive.
I've never played guitar with Todd before, and that's the instrument I've been playing the longest, actually. And he was just saying, hey, you got any ideas? And I'm like, well, since I heard it the first time, I'd like to sing Lush Life. He said, well, you want to practice? I said, well, I've been practicing it for 40 years.
I never cared much for moonlit skies. I never winked back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for afterglow or candlelight on the mistletoe. But now when you turn the lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and you caused a spark that's a 4-alarm fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. But now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. Much for moonlit skies. I never wink back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, oh, dig the light. I never cared much for afterglow, candlelight on the mistletoe. But now when you turn that lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light.
Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and you caused a spark that's a 4-alarm fire now. Well, I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. But now that your lips are burning mine, I dig the light. Oh, I like that light. I'm beginning to see the light.
I guess when the rumblings hit late February, early March, I really can't recall. My first thought is, well, this'll clog us up for a month or two or three. You know, I'm a teacher, and they said, hey, we're going to take a couple of weeks, and this is going to be, we'll get this under control, and then a week turned into 3 months, and then, it's been a year. We're both music educators. I mean, I'm a band director, and it has adversely affected that.
When you're talking about a standard class,
Yeah.
some of it's not that hard. I'm director of jazz studies at Murray State. It basically ground everything to a screeching halt, with the exception of being able to do some studio recording. Luckily, I live about a block from campus, and the students could come down and play literally in my backyard, and I could tweak and do what needed to be done. And then we'd go in and take them one at a time and layer all the parts in the studio. We had just gotten back with the jazz orchestra from a trip to the Elmhurst College Jazz Festival in Chicago when all of this broke. So we were all quite concerned that, we'd just been in another place with, thousands of people and schools from all over the country. So we were kind of lucky that we didn't bring it back ourselves.